Yeah, so obviously when a large cap company makes a large acquisition and gets awarded for it, it kind of brings in the hope that other companies will do the same. The drug sector has a lot of money sitting on the sideline, a lot of it outside the United States. There's a significant discussion about the president moving forward the agenda for tax repatriation allowed through taxes of cash sitting overseas to pay for infrastructure projects. So that suggests another leg up for potential deals. Couple that with some nice pricing of new drugs from Biogen, from Celgene, and now from Novartis. And we are seeing a bit of a hope here that biotech will have some rally. And don't forget, in the end of the day, the drug sector is still very much undervalued versus historical numbers versus the S&P.
Right. And, you know, when biotech was at its height in popularity among the investor base, there were a lot of, quote unquote, tourists in the space. A lot of them who fled once there's this concern about drug pricing.
Right.
Are those tourists back? Is that money on the sideline, in your view, that could come into the sector?
A little bit. If we look at all the crowding metrics, the drug sector is still very much undercrowded if you kind of look at just generalist active managers. So we can see some of that coming in. I don't think we're ever going back to kind of like the 2012, 2013 period, just because you will have elections in November, and if the Democrats gain power, there'll be another level of risks. But kind of like overall, if you balance out the pressures downwards and pressure upwards, we certainly look much better now that there is a lot less concern that the president will do something about drug costs in the near term.
But Ronny, that's an issue that the president has voiced a desire several times over the last 9 months to weigh in on. A couple months ago, it was through executive order. Just 2 weeks ago, he said that Merck needed to spend time lowering what he called rip-off drug prices. I mean, this is an issue that could rear its head again. And at what point do you think this becomes a real issue?
You know, I got almost 0 calls after that announcement, that tweet by the president. And essentially with every time the president brought that up and nothing happened, the amount of attention being paid to that came down, at least among investors I speak to. And my guess is that with the general support the drug sector has in Congress, plus the complexity of the entire drug value chains being addressed, it's highly unlikely that something will happen. And the general feeling among investors is a lot more sanguine about that issue than it was, call it, a year ago.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.